Alzheimer's Research UK is the leading light in dementia research, its causes, diagnosis, prevention, treatment and cure. And we've set ourselves the challenge of bringing about the first life-changing dementia treatment by 2025. It's no easy task though. After all, the human brain is the most complex structure in the universe. But our scientists are committed to decoding it. With your help, we're funding innovative science to spark the bright ideas that will unlock new treatments for dementia. And we're sharing what we discover across the world, so that instead of working on our own, we're creating a global force against the condition. Together, we're driving the conversation about dementia, so people will begin to look at it differently. In the past 50 years, science has put man on the moon. Now it's powering our mission towards a life-changing dementia treatment. And we'll keep going until we've won.
Oh, when I first met Ronnie, I was 14.
And she was brushing her hair at the time. Well, she was gorgeous. She's always been very good at holding her feelings back. But I've known Olive too long not to realise that it is something that's eating away at her.
January, 4 years passed. I noticed my mental arithmetic was starting to go. And I was always very, very good at mental arithmetic. That's why I thought it was time to go and see the doctor. And he told me that I had vascular dementia. Well, I didn't really know what that was at the time. From my understanding is that your brain will die, but not in a specific order. So you don't know what you're going to lose next. You just have to wait and see.
Alzheimer's is the commonest form of dementia. It causes a progressive loss of independence through memory changes. It goes from quite subtle forgetfulness all the way through to the end stage of Alzheimer's disease, where actually people have difficulty eating and drinking. They need 24-hour care. That is the sad reality. As the disease progresses, the brain shrinks. The grooves and the dips within the brain get bigger. So your brain occupies less space, and that space gets filled with fluid. We've just discovered the tip of the iceberg with regards to Alzheimer's research, and everything is there to be discovered. We're still finding out new things on a daily basis, and it's a fast-moving, fast-paced field that has the potential to affect millions of people.
Hello, if you can, please support Alzheimer's Research UK during this very difficult time. With your help, the charity can continue in its mission of finding a life-changing treatment for dementia. Just visit the donation page below or click the link in the stream description. Thank you.
Alzheimer's Research UK is the leading light in dementia research, its causes, diagnosis, prevention, treatment and cure. And we've set ourselves the challenge of bringing about the first life-changing dementia treatment by 2025. It's no easy task though. After all, the human brain is the most complex structure in the universe. But our scientists are committed to decoding it. With your help, we're funding innovative science to spark the bright ideas that will unlock new treatments for dementia. And we're sharing what we discover across the world, so that instead of working on our own, we're creating a global force against the condition. Together, we're driving the conversation about dementia, so people will begin to look at it differently. In the past 50 years, science has put man on the moon. Now it's powering our mission towards a life-changing dementia treatment. And we'll keep going until we've won.
Oh, when I first met Ronnie, I was 14.
And she was brushing her hair at the time. Well, she was gorgeous. She's always been very good at holding her feelings back. But I've known Olive too long not to realise that it is something that's eating away at her.
January, 4 years passed. I noticed my mental arithmetic was starting to go. And I was always very, very good at mental arithmetic. That's why I thought it was time to go and see the doctor. And he told me that I had vascular dementia. Well, I didn't really know what that was at the time. From my understanding is that your brain will die, but not in a specific order. So you don't know what you're going to lose next. You just have to wait and see.
Alzheimer's is the commonest form of dementia. It causes a progressive loss of independence through memory changes. It goes from quite subtle forgetfulness all the way through to the end stage of Alzheimer's disease, where actually people have difficulty eating and drinking. They need 24-hour care. That is the sad reality. As the disease progresses, the brain shrinks. The grooves and the dips within the brain get bigger. So your brain occupies less space, and that space gets filled with fluid. We've just discovered the tip of the iceberg with regards to Alzheimer's research, and everything is there to be discovered. We're still finding out new things on a daily basis, and it's a fast-moving, fast-paced field that has the potential to affect millions of people.
Hello, if you can, please support Alzheimer's Research UK during this very difficult time. With your help, the charity can continue in its mission of finding a life-changing treatment for dementia. Just visit the donation page below or click the link in the stream description. Thank you.
Alzheimer's Research UK is the leading light in dementia research, its causes, diagnosis, prevention, treatment and cure. And we've set ourselves the challenge of bringing about the first life-changing dementia treatment by 2025. It's no easy task though. After all, the human brain is the most complex structure in the universe. But our scientists are committed to decoding it. With your help, we're funding innovative science to spark the bright ideas that will unlock new treatments for dementia. And we're sharing what we discover across the world, so that instead of working on our own, we're creating a global force against the condition. Together, we're driving the conversation about dementia, so people will begin to look at it differently. In the past 50 years, science has put man on the moon. Now it's powering our mission towards a life-changing dementia treatment. And we'll keep going until we've won.
Oh, when I first met Ronnie, I was 14.
And she was brushing her hair at the time. Well, she was gorgeous. She's always been very good at holding her feelings back. But I've known Olive too long not to realise that it is something that's eating away at her.
January, 4 years passed. I noticed my mental arithmetic was starting to go. And I was always very, very good at mental arithmetic. That's why I thought it was time to go and see the doctor. And he told me that I had vascular dementia. Well, I didn't really know what that was at the time. From my understanding is that your brain will die, but not in a specific order. So you don't know what you're going to lose next. You just have to wait and see.
Alzheimer's is the commonest form of dementia. It causes a progressive loss of independence through memory changes. It goes from quite subtle forgetfulness all the way through to the end stage of Alzheimer's disease, where actually people have difficulty eating and drinking. They need 24-hour care. That is the sad reality. As Alzheimer's disease progresses, the brain shrinks. The grooves and the dips within the brain get bigger. So your brain occupies less space, and that space gets filled with fluid. We've just discovered the tip of the iceberg with regards to Alzheimer's research, and everything is there to be discovered. We're still finding out new things on a daily basis, and it's a fast-moving, fast-paced field that has the potential to affect millions of people.
Hello, if you can, please support Alzheimer's Research UK during this very difficult time. With your help, the charity can continue in its mission of finding a life-changing treatment for dementia. Just visit the donation page below or click the link in the stream description. Thank you.
Alzheimer's Research UK is the leading light in dementia research, its causes, diagnosis, prevention, treatment, and cure. And we've set ourselves the challenge of bringing about the first life-changing dementia treatment by 2025. It's no easy task, though. After all, the human brain is the most complex structure in the universe. But our scientists are committed to decoding it. With your help, we're funding innovative science to spark the bright ideas that will unlock new treatments for dementia. And we're sharing what we discover across the world, so that instead of working on our own, we're creating a global force against the condition. Together, we're driving the conversation about dementia, so people will begin to look at it differently. In the past 50 years, science has put man on the moon. Now it's powering our mission towards a life-changing dementia treatment. And we'll keep going until we've won.
Oh, when I first met Ronnie, I was 14.
And she was brushing her hair at the time. Well, she was gorgeous. She's always been very good at holding her feelings back. But I've known Olive too long not to realise that it is something that's eating away at her.
January, 4 years passed. I noticed my mental arithmetic was starting to go. And I was always very, very good at mental arithmetic. That's why I thought it was time to go and see the doctor. And he told me that I had vascular dementia. Well, I didn't really know what that was at the time. From my understanding is that your brain will die, but not in a specific order. So you don't know what you're going to lose next. You just have to wait and see.
Alzheimer's is the commonest form of dementia. It causes a progressive loss of independence through memory changes. It goes from quite subtle forgetfulness all the way through to the end stage of Alzheimer's disease, where actually people have difficulty eating and drinking. They need 24-hour care. That is the sad reality. As the disease progresses, the brain shrinks. The grooves and the dips within the brain get bigger. So your brain occupies less space, and that space gets filled with fluid. We've just discovered the tip of the iceberg with regards to Alzheimer's research, and everything is there to be discovered. We're still finding out new things on a daily basis, and it's a fast-moving, fast-paced field that has the potential to affect millions of people.
Hello, if you can, please support Alzheimer's Research UK during this very difficult time. With your help, the charity can continue in its mission of finding a life-changing treatment for dementia. Just visit the donation page below or click the link in the stream description. Thank you.
Oh, good evening. That was way too big. 1 second. Very, very, very good friend of mine has put these together. Thank you, Des. And I forgot they were way too big. Anyway, right, good evening. Oh, hang on. No, it's still on the screen. Again. There we go. Perfect. Good evening. That keeps Alex happy, you see. And he didn't know I was doing that, so that keeps Alex happy. Good evening. Welcome, everyone, to the Virtual Pub Quiz channel. It's a bit of a strange start, but good evening. Hope everybody is well. Welcome. My name is Jay. If you're new around here, most of you probably know who I am already. Let's just double check because I've got no sound. That one. Yes, working good. So good evening. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jay. I'm the host of the Virtual Pub Quiz live on a Thursday and a Sunday night, and also the specialist quizzes that you may see across the channel as well. I've got some good ones coming up over the next few days. I shall go through those a bit later on. So yeah, if you are new around here, on a Saturday we get the quiz started about 8:15. We keep the same timings that we do with Thursday night to keep that consistency. So basically I just gibber along for for 25 minutes, talk a bit about the charity and stuff that we're supporting this week, and explain how all of this very strange thing works. And it is very, very simple, and I'll mention it a few times before we start. And it is just grab a piece of paper. I've not even had much gin yet. A piece of paper and a pen, and all you need to do is just listen to as we ask the questions, and then write your answers down, and then we'll go through the answers. We split it up. It's 50 questions. Split over 3 rounds, but for those regular people on the YouTube channel here and are regular to all of my quizzes, it is going to be, I'm spoiling you tonight, I really am. Not only do you have 50 questions, you have a round of dingbats in one break. And because a lot of people ask me for this as well, you've done dingbats, but whereabouts is this? You've also got 9 anagrams as well. I don't know why I'm doing that with that, yeah. But you've got 9 anagrams as well. So, yes, you've got 9 dingbats and 9 anagrams. Now, a lot of you are playing against each other, so this is why I'm going to say this now, and then I'll say it just before the quiz starts. They are optional. They're only there for the break for you to, have a play around with. You don't have to play them. Dingbats are a staple of pub quizzes. If you go to a traditional pen and paper quiz, you'll always see, dingbats or picture rounds being handed out. So, why not include them in a virtual pub quiz? So, dingbats are there for you. If you want to get involved with them and you want to use them to compete against your teams, happy days. If you don't, you don't have to. They're there as an option. The main bulk of the quiz is just the 50 questions, which are spread over, as I say, 5 rounds. So good evening, welcome. We are in partnership still again with Alzheimer's Research UK, so thank you very much for them, and again thank you very much for what was an incredible Thursday night. I don't think anyone expected the level of support from the community and from you guys. It was absolutely insane. A massive thanks obviously to Stephen Fry who popped along. It was very kind of him to record 2 rounds for us. It was brilliant. He will be back along later on this evening to say thank you. So that'll be in the break, so we'll go a bit into that later on. But just over £200,000 raised for Alzheimer's Research UK, which is just incredible. And as a community now, we've raised just over £360,000 for the various charities. So thank you very much. A lot of you have been asking about what how we go about choosing the charities, etc. There's a lot of suggestions have been coming through over the last few days, as you can imagine, when you have a night like we had on Thursday night. For the next few weeks, the next 4 weeks, we've got 2 charities lined up. So there's a charity starting from Monday, which I'll talk more about later on this evening, that's very, very close to my heart. The 2 weeks later we'll have, and for all those of you who keep asking about him, he will be here in a couple of weeks' time. Alex, he's the Deputy CEO of a charity, so he will be along, we'll be featuring his. And then we've got a few that have been suggested to us that we will be in touch with and we are looking at. It's always a tricky one picking the right charity, and I said this from the beginning when we picked the NHS in the beginning, that I didn't want to force people into donating. That was never what this was started for. But you guys just came along and went, nope, we're not going to listen to you, we're going to do what we want, which was great. And a lot of you did donate to smaller charities that were local to you that needed support. So we've got, on the Patreon side of things, we've raised quite a bit of money there. So tomorrow I'm talking to the guys on the Patreon, if you're part of that. So there'll be a post up tomorrow with a poll as to where the Patreon side of the money is going to go to. So I've gone through, and that was a hard thing, go through a lot of those charities, so I've narrowed it down to 5, and there'll be a vote on that for tomorrow. But in terms of going forward, if you have got suggestions, please keep sending them through to us and we'll add them to the list. And it's not about a charity that can bring, some massive A-list celebrity, which a lot of them have got, or anything like that. We don't need that. It enhances things, but it's not what we really need. What we need is a charity that we feel is really, really deserving of support at the moment. And every charity is deserving of support at the moment. But obviously we can't pick everyone. So if it comes around that we do pick a charity that you think, no, but I'd like to donate somewhere else, then please do. Support wherever you can. But again, massive thanks for the support with regards to Alzheimer's Research UK all of this week, as we end our association with them and our partnership with them this week. Or do we? I'll come to that later. But yeah, so welcome, good evening if you are just joining us. The numbers are jumping up quite quickly. So hopefully, there we go, I should have a message here from Alex. Love it, they look great. There you go, see? Surprise. Alex, obviously, as you know, if you're a regular viewer, you know Alex is always getting me to push the hashtag and all the social links. Well, guess what? Now they're on the screen. But yeah, if you are new to us, all of our social, Alex is someone who's been helping me, reached out to me after the first week, and he's been a great help in the background. Really has been really sort of helping managing sort of the socials as well as everything else that's going on with Twitter and Instagram. He's brilliant on those, and he really, really does share everything across all of the social media platforms. Yes, Des, if you're watching, it's perfect. Thank you, pal. And a friend of mine who's created those, very, very, very talented editor, etc. Extraordinaire. Does a lot of what do you call them? Twitch streams and overlays and stuff like that. So I think he got my message at about 6 o'clock and put them together very, very quickly. So thanks, Des. Appreciate your help, pal. I do want to say, normally on a Saturday the live chat's a bit quieter, so I can do some shout outs, but I want to start with a special group, the Fire Pitters. You guys are incredible. I've seen Alex has shared the social media pictures of you guys, and every week you are always sharing it. Now, I don't have one slight reservation. What you've set up is brilliant, but me up on a big projector screen, that sort of slightly freaks me out. But it's great. It's absolutely superb to see you guys in that very nice close social distancing, getting together with the neighbours and watching me on a big projection screen. That did make me laugh this week. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us and supporting us. I love that. And thank you and welcome to everyone who's joining us. Let's try and give you a few shout outs. So what have we got? About 15 minutes before we get started. So hello from Lordswood in Kent. Oh, here we go, it's picking up now. I've said I'm going to say hello to a few people. Sandbach, hello from Sandbach, hello from Bridgewater, hello from Bournemouth. He's going a lot slower tonight. Hello from the Cotswolds, Cyprus. I was there in August for one of my very, very good friends' wedding over in Paphos. Flew in and flew out because I was running the pub at the time, so I think I was there for a couple of days in total. Hello to the ladies who quiz from Feltham. Shout out for Leo. Villanova in Barcelona. Wow, we really are getting across the world, aren't we? Hello to Deering Todds in Hull. Sharon Foot, happy birthday. And there we go, now the speed's picking up. You've all realised what I'm doing. Hello from Southampton, Hebburn, Isle of Man. Loads of people pop up from the Isle of Man. I see that on the Facebook page as well. Lots and lots of people. If you've not been on Facebook today, there's been an ongoing thing for weeks with regards to scammers and stuff, and sort of bombarding and attacking the page, and a lot of people missed the quiz on Thursday night because they thought one of the links was from us and it looked almost like us. So I went through, I've put a little video up on there and on YouTube, just how to look out for the scam pages and stuff like that. So if you haven't seen it, jump over to the Facebook channel and have a look, just sort of help you protect it. San Francisco, good evening to America. So it will help you keep sort of safe and make sure that you're always with us here. Oh dear. I did, and I'm glad they've seen it. They've sent another message on Twitter, so thank you very much, guys. I'm not using my glass tonight. Wigan, yeah, I know who you are. I'm not using my glass tonight. I'm going to get using it from Thursday because it is incredibly special. I want to treat it with kid gloves, and I'm not having a massive gin tonight. So so if you have joined us, numbers have jumped up since our last look. Good evening and welcome. If you are new to us, welcome along to the virtual pub quiz on YouTube on Saturday night tonight, but obviously Thursday and Saturday we do the live shows and all of the specialist quizzes. If you are new, all you need is a pen, a bit of paper, and that is it. So just seen my mum going through the live chat. Yes, hi mum. That's all you need is a bit of pen, I've done it again, bit of paper and a pen. That's all you need. And we ask 50 questions and a couple of extra rounds tonight. If you are joining us and you are regulars, Dingbats is here tonight. I did say on Thursday that I would put the Dingbats back in, and I've got an anagrams round for you as well for the breaks. You don't have to include them. You really don't. If you want to just stick to the 50 questions part of the quiz, because I know Dingbats and anagrams aren't everyone's cup of tea, so sort that out amongst yourselves in your quiz teams, and you can decide. I'm not going to get involved in family and friend disputes, but so you can decide whether or not you want to include them in your battles. Just trying to wait for something to refresh in the background. So yeah, we are still. I've got an anagrams round for you as well for the breaks. Sorry, I just refreshed the Just Giving page, and obviously the live streams on the Just Giving page. So What was I going to say? Yeah, so we are in partnership again with Alzheimer's Research UK. You probably saw that on before I came on. Massive thanks to Stephen Fry for Thursday night. He'll be back in the first break. He wants to come along and say a few words, which I think is lovely that he enjoyed him so much. Hello from Darwin. That's within a mile of me. So he'll be back along in the break tonight. Just wants to say a few words, and a couple of other people want to say a few words. The amount raised, I think, exceeded Alzheimer's Research UK's wildest dreams, let alone everybody else's. So again, massive thank you to all of you for your support. As always, yeah, try and see if I can pick some of these out. Hello to Lily and Emma in Sheffield, Angmarin in West Sussex. I think I pronounced that right. Congrats Lucy and Matt on the birth of their baby Finn. Congratulations to you guys. I've missed a few birthdays, but if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary. You know, hope you're all having as good a day as you can do. I know what it's like celebrating a birthday in these strange times. I did that a few weeks ago, so hopefully you've managed to have the best time you possibly can. Yeah, so other than really sort of Alzheimer's research, obviously we've got a specialist quiz. If you are after your sports quiz, we've got a 30 question sports quiz going on tomorrow. That'll be up on the YouTube channel at 7 o'clock. Kids quiz is on Monday. Slight tweak to the kids quiz for Mondays, but nothing major. I'm not changing it too drastically, but just a slight tweak to the quiz. So that will, but it'll still be as entertaining, because I know a lot of families, friend Stacey, I know her kids are competing against each other. So it'll just be, I'll try and keep it as it has been, but there's just a few tweaks to it. Hello from Clitheroe, that's only up the road. Good evening. Oh dear. I've ordered some of those plasticky ice cubes that you can put in the freezer. Hello from Cornwall. Hello from Hello from Peterborough, Canada. There's a Peterborough in Canada. Wow. Hello from Brittany, France. Shows how good my general knowledge is, geography is, doesn't it? Hello to the Battle family, if I pronounced that right. Hello from St Helens. I'm not going to be able to read all of that, but hello to Nick and Alan in Ashton and Makerfield. That's just down the road from Wigan. I lived there for a bit, so I know where that is. Hey from Ostery. Happy birthday, cage fighting Ken. Is he an actual cage fighter? Let us know. Yep, that's sped up again. So, yeah, if you are just joining us, we get started at 8:15, bang on. So you've got about 12 minutes if you want to go and grab yourselves a drink. Make sure your pen's ready. Make sure your paper's ready. 50 questions as always, 3 rounds, and then we'll take a break. Dingbats will go up on screen after a short message from the guys at Alzheimer's Research UK and the wonderful Mr. Stephen Fry. Then another 2 rounds. I forgot where I was. Then another 2 rounds of questions, and then you'll have some anagrams. We'll go through the answers, and then that will be us. Get the Guinness certificate on the wall with Dom and Mel. Yeah, I'm waiting for frames. I do want to. Yeah, if you weren't with us on Thursday, we got the Guinness World Record was confirmed. So everyone who was with us on the 30th of April, when we took all the readings and everything, so it was confirmed with us on Thursday, which is absolutely wonderful. We are now in the Guinness Book of Records. So Alex and I are working on something by that. Alex and I are working on something to do with that. A lot of people were saying, is there anything we can get to say, that we were part of it? So leave it with us. We'll have something over the next couple of weeks. We are working on that. Happy birthday to Steve. Happy birthday to Izzy in Spain. There's more people abroad tonight than there is in this country. Hello, sunny Oxfordshire. You're lucky. It's been miserable here today. Bonus round. Well, I've got the tiebreaker. So that'll. A lot of people have been using the tiebreaker as a bonus question, which is nice. So just over 20,000 of you have joined us. Hello from Darlington. Yeah, I know Darlington. Iron Napa. Wow. Be a bit quiet there at the moment. If you actually live there, you'll be loving it that we haven't invaded. Ah dear, how are we all doing? I'm trying to keep up with them. They're going. Yeah, so massive thanks to the guys who sent the glass for my gin. I will use that on Thursday when I can have a much bigger gin. I've got quite a bit to do before I go to bed tonight, so I need to keep myself a little bit compos mentis. Hello to Sophie and Eve from Elsfield in London, not far from where I was born. Originally from London. Oh, okay. Someone wants to shout out hello to my wife and housemate who are painting wood in the garage, which is why it's so quiet. Oh, I didn't realise that. A friend of mine just sent me a message. I won't read that out because it's a bit private, but you're welcome, Roy. So, yeah, you've got about 9 minutes and we will get started. We'll get going. Yeah, so if you do want to share any of the pictures of how you guys are all set up, etc. tonight, that way, and down. There we go. So all the hashtags, all of our social media links, it's all making Alex very, very happy. They're all there on in the bottom corner. Hopefully we should be able to have them. Yes. Hopefully we should be able to have them all the way through the quiz. Trying to see if I can pick some more people out. This is what I like about Saturday. It's not as big an audience as we have on, well, it's nowhere near as big an audience as we have on Thursday, but it means that I can catch people. Lee Proctor, hello from Norway. More people from Wigan. Reese and Sasha, hello. The Crossroads Inn. I love seeing these pub names because a couple of weeks ago we put a load of pubs up that were doing pub quizzes and stuff. So I really, we've got a list of some great pubs that we do want to try and come out and see once we're actually allowed to play in the big wide world. It's snowing in Cardiff. Wow, really is a tale of 4 seasons across the country at the moment. Hello to Archie. Sunny Colville by the beach. Say hi to Nanny Granny. Hello, Nanny Granny. That could apply to a lot of people, so hopefully you'll know who that was. Hello from Middlesbrough. Hello from Guernsey. One just says evening. Evening. Thank you. So, yeah, all the links and stuff, if you haven't seen them for Alzheimer's Research, are down below. So if you want to have a look at them and check them out, by all means, please do. We raised over £200,000 sort of from pretty much on Thursday night. And a massive thank you to the guys at Mattioli Woods who match funded. They started off by saying they were going to match fund to £15,000. Just before we went live, they said they would match it to £25,000. And then I think it stunned me and a lot of the guys at Alzheimer's Research UK. They then decided they were going to match fund up to £50,000. So massive thanks to them. Massive thanks to them for their support. I know everyone at Alzheimer's Research UK will be very happy and pleased. So thank you very much to Mattioli Woods. And of course, again, as I said, massive thanks to Stephen Fry. Numbers are jumping up again. So if you are just joining us, good evening. Welcome to the virtual pub quiz on a Saturday. Hope you're all well. Loads of red hearts. I'll give a shout out to that. It is on slow mode tonight as well. I've worked out what the slow mode means for the live chat. I thought the slow mode meant that they just sort of crept up the screen, but it just means that you have to have 60 seconds between commenting, which gets rid of a lot of the spam comments, which is nice. And again, I'm not talking of spam and scams and stuff. As I said before, if you're just joining us, a lot of people missed out on the quiz on Thursday night because there was a scam link that we missed on the Facebook page underneath our link. Because once I go live, that's it. I can't look at YouTube and look at Facebook and see what's going on. So I put a video up on Facebook anyway, just to sort of show what the difference is between our link and their link. And if you click on a link on our page and it asks you, it looks like it's from us and it asks you for card details or debit card details, credit card details, run away. It's nothing to do with us. The only place that we would ask for any of your details like that is on the Just Giving page, or if you are a Patreon or looking at joining the Patreon. That's the only places. To watch the quiz is free. We would never ask you to pay to join in the quiz. So if you click on the link thinking you're going to the quiz and it turns around and asks you for credit card details, run. Just close it down and come back to the Facebook page and have a look for the actual one. And then subscribe on here on YouTube and you'll get a notification whenever any of the ones go live. Mm-hmm. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes before we get started, because on a Saturday we start bang on 8:15. Alex says social is busy. He's retweeting, but don't forget to use the hashtag which is on the screen. It's on a rolling thing here, thanks to my very, very good friend who's created those for us. Alex, as always, wants us to trend, so he is busy tweeting and retweeting and probably sending out about 500,000 tweets just of his own. and he's on Instagram as well. He's putting everything on Instagram stories. So send us some pictures, some lovely photos of you all, teams, families, and households. So a lot of you are already getting involved, which is great. So you've got a few minutes, another 4 minutes before we get going. So if you do want to get involved over on our social platforms, please do. Right. Yeah, we've got Stephen Fry's going to come along in the break and just wants to say a few words with regards to Thursday night, and he's got a little bit of something to say. I've got a little bit of something to say with regards to that, so that'll be in the break. When, for those of you who are just joining us, because we're just under 32,000 now, there is a Dingbats round and there is a anagrams round for both of the breaks. So I will explain it with about a minute to go how you want to, well, I'd say, if they're optional, so you don't have to put them in. Obviously the main bulk of the quiz is the 50 questions. If you want to use them and compete against your families and the teams that you're all playing against each other, please do. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to force them on you and say you must have, the scores tonight must include anagrams and dingbats. And for those of you who don't know what dingbats are, it's basically there's some words on screen and there is hidden sayings, etc. All of that kind of thing hidden in them. So in about 3 minutes to go and then we start bang on. So if you are waiting, go and grab yourselves a drink. Make sure you've got pen and paper. If you are just joining us for new, we ask the questions, you write down the answers, we give you the answers, you check, put your scores together, and then let us know all over social media how you got on. Alex retweets it, and it keeps him out of trouble for another couple of hours. He's going to kill me for that. I like that. Yeah, no Google. No, and you're only cheating yourself if you Google it. We say this every week. You might learn something. The questions are only ever. I mean, the range of scores from Thursday night was from 15 out of 50 all the way up to 40s, 48s, 49s. So they are wide ranging, and there might be one week where there'll be questions that you don't know the answers to, and you might learn something that then you can take when you are allowed to play outside again. You might ask that question in a quiz and you go, I know that because I remember that from the virtual pub quiz. You never know. Or you could be like me at a quiz who can't remember his name after 60 questions. Don't condone that. So yeah, we've got about a minute and a half. If you want to quickly go and grab yourselves a drink from the virtual bar, get yourselves sorted, get yourselves comfortable. As I will be turning the live chat off shortly. So yeah, about a minute to go. Live chat, that one. Yeah, so I'll be turning that off in a second so that none of the answers appear. We learnt that mistake from our first week and now we know how to turn it off. So we turn it off during the quiz. But yeah, if you do want to get in touch with us, Alex, I'm on a link to Alex, so he's keeping me updated with what's going on. So if anything goes wrong, problems, etc., send it over onto our social media platforms, which are just down there. Alex will feed it back to me and we'll get it sorted. So you have 30 seconds, just visions of people running back from the fridge right now. Okay. We are nearly there. I need some more ice in my gin, but I'll sort that out later. Okay, 10 seconds to go. I need to put that on the right one. Ooh. Oh, you're going to get a sneak peek of the picture round. Or one of them anyway. Okay. Right, live chat's going. No. Push button too early. Right, so live chat's going off. Click the wrong mouse as well. So live chat's off. Dum. There we go. Right. So let's get you going then. No, it says live chat's off and it's not push button. Right, let's get you going then. We've got 30 questions and then we'll take a short break. We're starting off with a music round. A lot of people wanted a music round to come back. I'll explain the music round for you. We're going to start in the 60s, a couple of questions in the 60s, a couple in the 70s, a couple in the 80s, and we work our way through the decades for the 10 questions. So there should be something in this round for everybody. We start though with Otis Redding was sitting on the dock of what? So Otis Redding was sitting on the dock of what? Number 2. Who was saying a little prayer in 1968? So who was saying a little prayer in 1968? So if you have just joined us, first round is music. We're starting in the 60s and working our way forward. Number 3. What street links a Jerry Rafferty song and Sherlock Holmes? So which street links a Jerry Rafferty song and Sherlock Holmes? Number 4. In which 1978 music video would you find a cowboy, a construction worker, a policeman, and an Indian chief? So in which 1978 music video would you find a cowboy, a construction worker, a policeman, and an Indian chief? Number 5. Hungry Like the Wolf was a 1983 hit for which group? So Hungry Like the Wolf was a 1983 hit for which group? Number 6. Revving up your engine. Listen to her howling roar. Metal under tension. Begging you to touch and go is the opening lyrics to which 80s classic? Let's move my arms, got that. So revving up your engine. Listen to her howling roar. Metal under tension. Begging you to touch and go is the opening lyrics to which 80s classic? Number 7. Bop was a hit in the 90s for which brothers? Bop was a hit in the 90s for which brothers? Number 8. Who was bringing sexy back in 2006? So who was bringing sexy back in 2006? Number 9. The Climb was a chart hit for which two artists in 2009? So The Climb was a chart hit for which two artists in 2009? It's a point for each. So the quiz is now out of 51 this week. I was going to say you need to get both to get the answer, to get the point, but I'm not that cruel. So it's a point for each. And finally, number 10. Who had a hit with Sunflower in 2018? So who had a hit with Sunflower in 2018? So that is your music round. We move on. A couple of groans coming, but we move on to a history round. But don't worry, it's not dates like we did in the first time. Let's see how you go. Number 1. Who was the first human into space? So who was the first human into space? Number 2. Which newspaper came first in the UK? Was it the Daily Mirror or the Daily Mail? So which newspaper came first in the UK? Daily Mirror or the Daily Mail? Number 3, I'm giving you 4 options for this one. In which year did the UK hand over Hong Kong to China? Was it 1992, 1997, 2002, or 2007? So in which year did the UK hand over Hong Kong to China? 92, 97, 2002, or 2007? Number 4. From the 1906 election in the United Kingdom, so basically from the first main election of the 20th century, who has won more elections in terms of seats won? Labour or Conservative? So who's won more elections since 1906? Labour or Conservatives? Number 5. In which year did Edward VIII abdicate? I didn't say there was no date at all. At least it's not all dates. So in which year did Edward VIII abdicate? Number 6. 1066 saw the Battle of where? So 1066 saw the Battle of where? Number 7. Which motor company invented the Model T in 1908? So which motor company invented the Model T in 1908? Number 8. What was the name of the company that operated the Titanic? So what was the name of the company that operated the Titanic? Number 9. The first Football World Cup was hosted in Uruguay. In which year? I was going to do that the other way around. The first Football World Cup was held in this year in which country? But that's an old 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps joke, isn't it? So the first Football World Cup was hosted in Uruguay in which year? Okay, and then finally for this round, number 10, in 1982, good year, the first commercially available CD player, the CDP-01, was launched, but which company made it? So who commercially released it? That made more sense. So in 1982, the first commercially available CD player, the CDP-01, was launched, but who made it? I've just realised I really need a haircut. I know people were saying that about Stephen. No. Right, let's move on. Round 3 is a picture round. Again, it's now found its home for round 3 just before we go to the break. So, tonight it's all about name the game. So I've got board games, traditional board games pretty much. And let's see how you get on with number 1. So, I forgot there was a card game as well. So name the board game or the card game. So that's number 1. I always give you a bit more time on these. Number 2. Bit of a clue in the top right corner. Missed that. Not all of it. So again, name the board game. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Did not clip these very well. Number 6. I remember playing this with my granddad when I was a kid. Number 7. 8. Number 9. And finally, number 10. Wrong button. There we go. Welcome back. So, yeah, that's your first part of the quiz for this evening. We're going to take a short break at this point and put some dingbats up on the screen. You can include, if you've just joined us, you can include them in your scores. We're taking it from 51. If you want to include them and tell us how you got on with the dingbats and then anagrams later on, please do. If not, it's entirely up to you. You guys are competing against each other, so make sure you have all agreed before I put them up on screen. If you were with us on Thursday night, you know it was an incredible night for Alzheimer's Research UK. We had the wonderful Stephen Fry along, and he presented 2 of the rounds to you all on Thursday night. So he and the guys at Mattioli Woods, who match funded £50,000 of the incredible £200,000 that we raised, just wanted to come along and say a few words to you to show their thanks for their support. Stephen's got a bit of an interesting announcement to do with Friday nights on this channel. So if you enjoyed Thursday night with Stephen, you might want to listen to this. So after this, I'll put this on, and then straight after I'll put the dingbats up on screen, and then I'll be back with you shortly.
Hello all, Stephen Fry here. Firstly, I'd just like to thank you for having me on as a guest on Thursday. It really was the most enjoyable evening, as you know. I do love a good quiz. But I'd also like to thank you for your incredible generosity towards Alzheimer's Research UK. I can tell you, I almost fell off my chair when I heard how much you had raised for this wonderful charity. And as I speak, we've sailed past £200,000 in donations. That really is truly remarkable. This includes £50,000 of match funding from the team at Mattioli Woods, which is wonderful support, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. This money is going to make such a difference to the charity at a time when the COVID-19 crisis is putting their work at risk. This could pay for no less than 4 pilot projects, the testing ground for pioneering new ideas in dementia research that lead to the breakthroughs of tomorrow. And because of your fantastic support and the fun I had on Thursday, I'll be returning to your quiz screens next Friday, May the 22nd, from 8:15 p.m. for the first in a series of virtual pub quiz takeovers for Alzheimer's Research UK. This is clearly a cause that means so much to many of you, so I do hope you'll join me for another night of quizzing. If you're yet to make a donation to Alzheimer's Research UK and are able to do so, please do consider supporting their crucial work. The link is on your screens now. Thank you once more for your support. You really are amazing. Enjoy the rest of the quiz, and I hope to see you all next Friday.
Oh, when I first met Ronnie, I was 14.
And she was brushing her hair at the time. Well, she was gorgeous. She's always been very good at holding her feelings back. But I've known Olive too long not to realise that it is something that's eating away at her.
January 4 years passed. I noticed my mental arithmetic was starting to go. And I was always very, very good at mental arithmetic. That's why I thought it was time to go and see the doctor. And he told me that I had vascular dementia. Well, I didn't really know what that was at the time. From my understanding is that your brain will die, but not in a specific order. So you don't know what you're going to lose next. You just have to wait and see.
Alzheimer's is the commonest form of dementia. It causes a progressive loss of independence through memory changes. It goes from quite subtle forgetfulness all the way through to the end stage of Alzheimer's disease, where actually people have difficulty eating and drinking. They need 24-hour care. That is the sad reality. As the disease progresses, the brain shrinks. The grooves and the dips within the brain get bigger. So your brain occupies less space, and that space gets filled with fluid. We've just discovered the tip of the iceberg with regards to Alzheimer's research, and everything is there to be discovered. We're still finding out new things on a daily basis, and it's a fast-moving, fast-paced field that has the potential to affect millions of people.
Hello, Jay. Simon Gibson here from Mattioli Woods. I put the check shirt on specially for you. Just a quick message to thank you and your amazing quizzing community for all of your help on Thursday night. Between us, we raised more than £200,000 for Alzheimer's Research UK. I can tell you that not only Mattioli Woods, who are a national partner of the charity for this year, but also for myself and my family and so many other families, it was a spectacular effort. We do appreciate all of your input and, of course, Stephen Fry. And again, thank you to all of the people who so generously donated. It really will help with the work that Alzheimer's Research UK are doing to make breakthroughs possible.
Hello, if you can, please support Alzheimer's Research UK during this very difficult time. With your help, the charity can continue in its mission of finding a life-changing treatment for dementia. Just visit the donation page below or click the link in the stream description. Thank you.
It's me. I'm up here in the top corner. I'm leaving the dingbats on, don't worry. I'm going to leave them on for a few more minutes. So, yeah, that's me up here in the top corner. Yeah. Yes, I was just reading something. If you just checked a few messages while I was sort of on that break. Firstly, a massive again thank you to Alzheimer's Research UK and to Stephen and to Mattioli Woods, and thank you very much for their kind words. I'll come to the message in a sec. So in terms of, let me clarify what Stephen was talking about with regards to Friday night. So it's an additional quiz. It's not going to be live. It'll be pre-recorded. I'll introduce it as normal because obviously it's still the virtual pub quiz and it's still all about us. But for the next couple of weeks, the Alzheimer's Research UK will be taking over on a Friday night. So 8:15 till 9:15, hour-long quiz. 30 questions is what they're working on, and it will be down to the celebrity who will be setting the questions. So it could be anything. I know a couple of them that they've got in the pipeline. I'm not going to talk too much about them. We'll leave those as surprises. But so Stephen Fry has very, very kindly really enjoyed what he did on Thursday, and then watching it on Thursday night and your reactions to him and all the tweets and everything that he's received. So he really wanted to get involved again. So he is going to be hosting the full quiz. I won't be asking any questions on Friday night. It'll be all down to him. So I'll introduce him. We'll talk a bit about it, and then I'll leave it all in Stephen's hands, and hopefully come back at the end of the quiz and everything will still be in one piece from where I left it. So I'll come back at the end just to say thanks again. So that is Friday night, 8:15. So that's an additional quiz. So if you're wondering why there hasn't been a specialist quiz for the last couple of weeks, we've been working on this with these guys, and we're ready to do it this Friday for the next couple of weeks. So that's what that was all about. Very much looking forward to it. They've got a couple of others lined up. So it's an extra additional bonus quiz all for you guys. We'll set it as a premiere as well. So things like live chat and stuff will be on up until well, in fact, no, I'll think about that. But obviously the comments will be on. But yeah, so it's a great addition, and we're really pleased to be working with them. Just one of the messages, or a couple of messages I picked up, and it must be from some people who are new. I've been talking about him quite a bit. The mysterious Alex, who is real, he is definitely real, because he's the one who's retweeting everything on Facebook and sorry, not Facebook, on Twitter and Instagram with that way. With the hashtag there that you guys are all massively sharing. He is an incredible man. He reached out to me after I did the first one way back at the end of March on the 26th, and he said he'd like to offer some support and just some advice and just some guidance. And he works for a charity that we're going to be featuring in a couple of weeks, so I'm not going to say who the charity is that he works for, but he's just selfless. He's just an incredible person, an incredible human being, and I'm absolutely indebted to him to be working with him, because he's the one, along with obviously family and friends, he keeps me sane, keeps me on the sort of everything focused, etc., and comes up with some of the crazy ideas that we've implemented. So you will get to meet him. I know a lot of you have been very, very keen to meet him. You will get to meet him. He will appear at some point in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, it's just a massive thanks from me. So someone asked if he was a business partner. No, he is just doing this all for nothing to support, and we'll feature his charity very heavily in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, a couple more minutes on the dingbats, and then we'll go through the answers. One of the questions, there are 3 possible answers for. I was going for the big answer, but there are 3 possibles. I've got all 3 answers, so don't worry. If you've been clever and not gone for the big one, I thought, and wanted to show your intelligence, which I admire, I've got all 3 answers. So I will go through those. So about another minute, and we'll go through your answers. I'll do the dingbat answers first. Which I've also remembered I can't. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. I've not got the answers written in front of me. Okay, so 30 seconds, and then we will go through the answers for the dingbats first, and then we will go through the answers to the other 30 questions, and then we've got 20 questions to go. Anagrams, more of those, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so your dingbats then. The number 1, top left-hand corner, is no idea. Number 2, next to it on its right, is good for nothing. Number 3, bend over backwards. Number 4, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Number 5, repeat after me. Number 6, return ticket. Number 7 is income tax. And I'm going to find the answers to the other two. Bear with me one sec. I want to make sure I give them right because I don't want. Let me find. Right, let's get those answers. So we had that one. As you can tell, I'm as organised as always, but I know what the answer is, but I just want to make sure the wording's right, because if you are using it to compete with one another, I don't want to be in the middle of arguments. And number 8 is Robin Hood, so Robin Hood. And then number 9 is that one. I thought it was. So number 9, right between the eyes. Right between the eyes. Okay, let's go through your answers to the main part of the quiz then. We started with the music round. Number 1, Otis Redding was sitting on the dock of what? It was the Bay. So sitting on the dock of the Bay. Number 2, who was saying a little prayer in 1968? It was Aretha Franklin. Number 3, what street links a Jerry Rafferty song and Sherlock Holmes? It is Baker Street. Number 4, in which 1978 video would you find a cowboy, a construction worker, a policeman and an Indian chief? YMCA. Number 5, Hungry Like the Wolf was a 1983 hit for which group? It was Duran Duran. Number 6, revving up your engine, listen to her howling roar. Metal under tension, begging you to touch and go is the opening lyrics to Danger Zone from the great film Top Gun. Number 7, Bop was a hit for Hanson. Number 8, who wanted to bring sexy back in 2006? It was Justin Timberlake. Number 9, so it was a point for each on these. The Climb was a chart hit for which two artists in 2009? It was Miley Cyrus and Joe McElderry. Just as a caveat, I know there was a band that also recorded it in 2009. It was only on iTunes and a streaming service. It didn't actually chart. These were the only two who got a chart position for it. Number 10, who had a hit with Sunflower in 2018? It was Post Malone. Featured heavily on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse theme soundtrack. That's the word I'm looking for. History, number 1, who was the first human into space? It was Yuri Gagarin. Number 2, which newspaper came first in the UK, the Daily Mirror or the Daily Mail? It was the Daily Mail. In which year did the UK hand over Hong Kong to China? Was it 92, 97, 2002 or 2007? It was 1997. From the 1906 election in the United Kingdom, who has won more elections in terms of seats won, Labour or Conservatives? It was the Conservatives so far. Which year did Edward VIII abdicate? It was 1936. Now, 1066 or the Battle of Ware. Hastings is the answer I've got. However, if you have gone with either of these as well, you could have had Gate Fulford. I know nothing about that one, I'll be honest. Or you could have had Stamford Bridge. Obviously, Hastings was the one I went for when I wrote the question. Number 7, which motor company invented the Model T in 1908? It was the Ford Motor Company. Number 8, what was the name of the company that operated the Titanic? It was the White Star Line. Number 9, the first Football World Cup was hosted in Uruguay, in which year? It was 1930. And number 10, in 1982, what a great year, the first commercially available CD player, the CDP-01, was launched. Who made it? It was Sony. And your picture around them. Number 1 was Uno. Number 2 was Guess Who. Number 3 was Cluedo. Number 4 was Monopoly. Number 5, The Game of Life. Number 6 was Totopoly. And for those of you who don't know, it was based around horse racing. Number 7, Connect 4. Number 8 was Battleships. Number 9, Scrabble. And finally, number 10, Mousetrap. So, how have you got on so far? I'll give you a minute just to tot your scores up, etc. for so far, and let us know how you're getting on. So I'll give you a minute. I'm going to have a quick sip of my drink, and then we'll get on with the second part of the quiz. I've just had a message from Alex. You've so far raised £4,486 just in tonight, so for Alzheimer's Research UK. So thank you very much for that on their behalf. I'm sure they'll be very, very pleased. So thank you very much from them. Okay, we'll give you another 30 seconds and then we'll get into the second part of the quiz. General knowledge still to come. Get on the right one. That one. So round 4 is a sport round, and then general knowledge to finish off. So I've mixed it up a bit tonight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's get into it. Your sport round then. Number 1. Who has won more Formula 1 titles, Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton? There's a few multiple choice in this sport round. But who has won more Formula 1 titles, Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton? Number 2, the Grand National horse race is held at which UK racetrack? So the Grand National horse race is held at which UK racetrack? Number 3, finish the NFL team name. The New England what? So finish the NFL team name. The New England what? Slow down a little bit. I went off too quick for the first 3 questions. Number 4, how big is the Ashes urn? Is it 3 inches, 6 inches, 12 inches or 24 inches? So how big is the Ashes urn? 3 inches, 6 inches, 12 inches or 24 inches? Number 5, in which race might you run past the Cutty Sark, over Tower Bridge and finish on the Mall? So in which race might you run past the Cutty Sark, over Tower Bridge and finish on the Mall? Number 6, which American singer, this is a great story, which American singer has claimed that she has run the 100 metres in 5.97 seconds. Basically means that she is the fastest person in the world. So which American singer has claimed that she has run the 100 metres in 5.97 seconds? I think she messed up somewhere, but Question 7. What is Tiger Woods' first name? No, that's not a silly question of mine. He has an actual first name. But what is Tiger Woods' first name? Number 8. Who knocked England out of the World Cup at Italia 90? So who knocked England out of the World Cup at Italia 90? To be fair, we knocked ourselves out, but who were we playing? Number 9. What colour ball is traditionally used in Test match cricket? So what colour ball is traditionally used in Test match cricket? And finally, number 10. Who currently holds the WBA, IBF and WBO heavyweight boxing titles? Forgot to put the heavyweight bit in. So who currently holds the WBA, IBF and WBO heavyweight boxing titles? So one man holds all 3 of those. Okay, right, let's move on to general knowledge. 10 to go. And we start with this. The Gatwick Express runs from Gatwick Airport to which major London terminus? So the Gatwick Express runs from Gatwick Airport to which major London terminus? Number 2, Chimchimchuree, there we go, get my words out. Chimchimchuree, Let's Go Fly a Kite and Feed the Birds are songs from which musical? So Chimchimchuree, Let's Go Fly a Kite and Feed the Birds are songs from which musical? Number 3, what is the name of the red vacuum cleaner with a face on? So what is the name of the red vacuum cleaner with a face on? Number 4, who wrote Animal Farm? So who wrote Animal Farm? Number 5. Which actress was married 8 times and had husbands including Richard Burton and Conrad Hilton Jr.? So, which actress was married 8 times and had husbands including Richard Burton and Conrad Hilton Jr.? If you're starting to see something looking familiar about your answers, you might be right. You're starting to see a pattern emerging. If you're not, you're now sat there going, yeah, should we? Number 6. What was the name of the 1990 film directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder? Also, my nickname for a while in January after a bit of an accident. So what was the name of the 1990 film directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder? You won't be able to see it. Number 7. What was the name of the boy in Roald Dahl's book, The Giant Peach? So what was the name of the boy in Roald Dahl's book, The Giant Peach? Number 8. Who is Alexander Armstrong's co-presenter on Pointless? So who is Alexander Armstrong's co-presenter on Pointless? Number 9. What was the name of the young girl who wrote a diary whilst in hiding during World War II? So what was the name of the young girl who wrote a diary whilst in hiding during World War II? And finally, what links all 9 answers? So there is a link between the 9 answers. What links them all together? General knowledge and a connections round. Okay, so that is your 50 questions for tonight. We will give the answers shortly. Just going to give you a few minutes if you want to make sure you've got your answers right. And I will put up this anagrams round that I have created, if I can find it. There it is. So I'll put that up on screen for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to go grab myself a drink. So we'll be back with you in a few minutes. The anagrams will go on screen. There are 9. So you've got the anagram, and then underneath it will say what we're looking for. So it might be an actor, TV program, sports personality, city, whatever it might be. So I'll put them up on screen. Again, you don't have to include them in the main quiz. You should have hopefully already decided between your families what you're going to do. So I'll put this up on screen now, and I will see you again in a couple of minutes. There we go. Still got the whole music going. I'm up here again. I'm up here in the top corner. Hello. I'll leave the anagrams up for just another couple of minutes. Hopefully you're finding them fun. Again, it was just something that people were asking, and we do listen. We might not be able to reply to every message, but we do try to sort of read as many of them as we can. And if we see, you know, a sort of similar theme or a common theme, we'll always try and see if we can incorporate it in some way. So that's why I said, and you know, anagrams and dingbats are not everyone's cup of tea. Dingbats is a staple of a pub quiz. That, you know, like I say, you'll always see them on the table along with picture rounds and lists and all sorts. So, you know, there's another idea I've got for lists and stuff. Loads of ideas coming up. But, you know, that's why I said it's not part of the main quiz. But if you're competing with family and stuff, or family and friends, or whatever it might be, and you want to challenge, you know, challenge them to them as well, if you think it might give you an advantage against the whole quiz. So that's why I said, you know, the main quiz is out of 51 tonight. But if you wanted to include them, please do, and let us know how you get on. Alex has just messaged me and said he is real, he's not female, and he's looked forward to seeing us all one day soon. And he just wants to say hello to Sarah, John, Becky and Charlotte, playing as a family from Tunbridge Wells. So yes, that's fine for all the work you've done. I don't mind doing that for you at all. But yeah, he is real and he's not female. And I have seen him, he's not female. It's male, Alex. So, right, I'll give you another 30 seconds on the anagrams. And then we'll go through the answers, which is that one. So yeah, don't forget, there is a big sports quiz tomorrow night, 30 questions pre-recorded, which I'm pre-recording after I finish the live stream tonight. So that will be up tomorrow at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, covering all range of sports. So if you're a real big sports fan, it's one for you. Don't forget, Monday we've got the kids quiz, and Tuesday series 3 and 4 of the Friends quiz. You went mad for that on Tuesday night. I thought there'd be a good response, but I really didn't expect the response that I got to it. So you guys went absolutely crazy for the Friends quiz. So that's back on Tuesday again at 7 o'clock. I'm going to put the specialist quizzes on the evenings now, because there seems to be a better response to them in the evenings. I don't know whether it was the subjects as well, but so I'll put them on in the evenings. They will all go live at 7 o'clock in the evening. Apart from the kids quiz will go up at 10:30 on Monday. Right, let's give you some answers then to your quiz. Firstly, your anagrams. Number 1, top left-hand corner, was Idris Elba. Number 2, the sports personality, was Gary Lineker. Number 3, the TV programme, is The Inbetweeners. Oh, sorry, I had a brain fade. I couldn't remember who the fourth one. So the fourth one is Beatrix Potter. Number 5, the actor is Matt Damon. Number 6, the UK city is Manchester. Number 7, the former Prime Minister was Tony Blair. Number 8, Coldplay for the band. And number 9, the singer was Bruno Mars. There we go, so something a bit different for you. Right, let's go through the final 20 questions. Let's ping them up. There we go, I'm back down here. There I am. Right, number 1 for your sports round. Who has won more F1 titles, Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton? Michael Schumacher's won 7, Lewis Hamilton has won 6 as it stands, so at the moment it's Michael Schumacher. Number 2, the Grand National Horse Race is held at Aintree. Number 3, finish the NFL team name, the New England what? It is the Patriots. Number 4, how big is the Ashes urn? Is it 3, 6, 12 or 24 inches? It's 6 inches. I could make a really crude joke at this point, I'm not going to. Number 5, in which race might you run past the Cutty Sark, over Tower Bridge and finish on the Mall? It is, of course, the London Marathon. Number 6, which American singer has claimed that she has run the 100 metres in 5.97 seconds? It's Britney Spears. If you go on Wikipedia, well, up until last night when I sort of saw the news story and went and did a bit of research on it, up until last night she was still on Wikipedia as the fastest person in the world. It's just nuts. Number 7, what is Tiger Woods' first name? It is Eldrick. Number 8, who knocked England out of the World Cup at Italia 90? It was West Germany. Some of you may have put Chris Waddle. Number 9, what colour ball is traditionally used in Test match cricket? It is red. And finally, on your sports round, who currently holds the WBA, IBF and WBO boxing titles heavyweight? It is Anthony Joshua. General knowledge looked like this. It was number 1. The Gatwick Express runs from Gatwick Airport to London Victoria. Number 2, Chim Chim Cheree, Let's Go Fly a Kite and Feed the Birds are songs from Mary Poppins. Number 3, what is the name of the red vacuum cleaner with a face on? It is Henry. Number 4, who wrote Animal Farm? It is George Orwell. Number 5, which actress was married 8 times and had husbands including Richard Burton and Conrad Hilton Jr.? It is Elizabeth Taylor. Number 6, what was the name of the 1990 film directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder? It was Edward Scissorhands. And for those of you who are wondering, I don't know whether you can see it very well, but yeah, there you go. Oh, gone the other way. I decided to stab myself with a pair of scissors when we had the pub back in January. So I currently have no feeling down there, and my quiz teams that I played against and friends of mine who played at the quiz nicknamed me Edward Scissorhands because it happened on the day. There you go. Number 7, what was the name of the boy in Roald Dahl's book The Giant Peach? It was James and the Giant Peach. Number 8, who is Alexander Armstrong's co-presenter on Pointless? It is Richard Osmond. Number 9, what was the name of the young girl who wrote a diary whilst in hiding during World War II? It was Anne Frank. Which meant, what links all the answers? They are all first names of English/British monarchs. The reason I put English because a couple of them were before the Union was created. So if you put British monarchs, I'm sure your team will let you have half a point. But yeah, they're all first names of English and British monarchs. And I need to go to that one and that one. There we go. I don't know if Des is still watching, but I'm really liking those. Brilliant. Finger in the right place. There. So yeah, use that hashtag there. Well, the hashtag and all of our socials. If you head on over to us, Alex is standing by to retweet your scores. As always, he's gonna. I normally hold a piece of paper up, write your score on, and let us know how you got on. Do you need a tie break, or do you want it for a bonus point? Oh, hang on, hold that thought. That's still Thursdays. It's done it again. I've got quite an interesting one because it should have been 16th of May. It should have been Eurovision today, and I know a lot of you were probably expecting a few Eurovision questions. Let's do that. Okay, here it is. So in the 1986 Spanish Eurovision entry, La 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 contained how many la's in the song? This is your tie-break question. So the 1986 Spanish Eurovision entry, La La La, contained how many la's in the song? So I'll give you another 30 seconds to get your answers together. Probably quicker, 30 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is 138 la's in the Spanish Eurovision entry, La La La. So that is your quiz for a Saturday night. Firstly, thank you very much to Alzheimer's Research UK, who've been our partner this week. We've got one more day with them tomorrow, but a massive thank you to you on behalf of them for all the fundraising and everything and the donations that you've made this week. So a massive thank you from them, and obviously from me for joining us as always. I did say earlier that I'd let you know who our partner is going to be from Monday next week. It's a charity very, very, very close to my heart. They help me out in my very, very darkest times 11 years ago. You may have seen some of it on the ITV News on Thursday night after the quiz, and on a few other sort of medias where it's starting to come out. It's not something I've openly spoken about, but I do feel a lot more comfortable talking now. So we're going to be working with Connection at St Martin in the Fields, which are based in London. They're a homeless charity. They're a very, very big sort of charity in London. I know it's a sort of local charity, but they're a charity that's very, very close to my heart, and I know that they're struggling a bit at the moment. So I want to give them some support over the next couple of weeks. So we'll talk a bit more about them on Thursday night, but just wanted to let you know that that's who we'll be working with from Monday. Other than that, that's it really from me, and on behalf of Alzheimer's Research UK, don't forget Stephen Fry will be on Friday night for an Alzheimer's Research UK quiz on Friday night at 8:15. Sports quiz tomorrow, that will be on the channel from 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Kids quiz 10:30 on Monday morning. Friends series 3 and 4 on Tuesday evening. Wednesday will be another specialist quiz at 7 o'clock. Not quite decided which one I'm going to go for yet. And of course the big live quiz as always on Thursday night. Thank you as always for all of your support, your messages. Excuse me, that's the gin. Thank you very much for your support as always, everything, your messages, your donations to the charities, etc. If you haven't seen the video that's on the Facebook page, jump on over and have a look. Just talking about the scam links. Want to try and keep everyone as safe as possible, so that you're not sort of clicking on links that take you to other places. This quiz will always remain free. You won't have to sign up to pay. We won't force everyone into paying to play. There is the Patreon for people who are supporting me, which is great, and I appreciate every single one of you who have done that. But we're not going to make a mass suddenly put the whole quiz behind a paywall at all. That's not something that I would ever want to do. This is a pub quiz, a virtual pub quiz, and I want it to remain as free as possible. So thank you very much for your support as always, and we will see you. If I don't see you on some of the specialist quizzes, I will see you all next Thursday night. Stay safe.